I'm Julia, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Race to Win Sailing Podcast. We use 3D replays of actual sailboat races to discuss the rules, tactics, and a lot more. Today, I have the 2015 Moth World Championships for you in Sorrento, Australia, and we're looking at the final race of the regatta. Peter Burling is very favored going into this race. In fact, there's really pretty much nothing he can do to lose at this point. There he is, 23 New Zealand. You can see he steered down very aggressively at the start and has a lot better speed over his closest competitor there, one Australian, Nathan Outteridge. He is going to maintain that better speed for this entire windward leg. You can see here he has about a 30-meter lead. Here he is tacked over onto port, and this tack really gives him a good advantage. He's able to take advantage of several lifts on this leg. You'll see he pulls even further ahead of Outteridge as he's lifted right now, again gaining and playing the shifts. Approaching the mark, he tacks at the ley line right in a knock, so actually overstands a little bit, but still manages to make it to the ley line well ahead of Outteridge. Here we can see Burling coming around the windward mark. Outteridge will be following right behind him, and by the time they both complete the rounding, we can see that Burling is a good 300 meters ahead. Let's take a look at the upwind stats for this leg. It seems like Burling just outsailed Outteridge. Faster elapsed time, less distance, better average speed, max speed 24.6 versus 21.5. He did have an extra tack over Outteridge, so he was just playing the shifts more, got that better lift, and really had a great leg. Josh McKnight there behind Burling, headed downwind. Oh, Burling is down. Oh no. And here comes Outteridge. He is just going to slingshot right past him as Burling struggles to get back up again. Okay, Burling is up. 200 meters, 250 meters. Now Burling, look at that. She just has great downwind speed. Anytime you see that orange in the GPS track, that's up to 24 knots. I mean, you see the red, that is over 26 knots. Each of those dots in the speed histogram is 1 second. So you can see the speed and course history over time. Oh no, now Outteridge is down. Oh, now Burling's down. They're both down. So who is going to recover first and get up and get out of here? It looks like, oh, they are both up at almost the same time, off again and just screaming towards the leeward mark. Burling is ahead going in. He doesn't have a great rounding here, and Outteridge is able to just squirt in on the inside and takes the lead again on the second upwind leg. Outteridge is going to maintain that lead about 15 meters ahead as they are approaching the ley line. Burling goes over, followed by Outteridge. Now Outteridge is going to go just past the ley line here, which you can see is this white line coming across the replay. Now, if we take a look here, we can click on the tacks to see the tack statistics. Burling had a pretty good tack, only 3 seconds lost, but Outteridge had kind of a little trouble there, lost 19 seconds on the tack, and this is going to fall behind Burling as they approach that mark. Now, Burling is having to pinch up, is slowing down a little bit to get to the ley line, whereas Outteridge is footing down and is just going like crazy. Let's take a look at the stats for this leg. Check it out. They actually had the exact same elapsed time for this leg since they rounded the bottom mark at a different time. But Burling sailed a little bit less distance and a little bit slower, actually, where Outteridge was going to be presumably higher and faster. Burling has a much higher max speed of 24.4 and Outteridge has 20.8. They both had one tack. So let's look at this last downwind leg headed into the finish. So Burling's holding that lead, headed downwind, stretching it out a little bit, great speed. And he is going to go ahead and jibe coming up here. Good jibe. Outteridge chooses not to cover. And we can see Outteridge is actually pulling ahead on the favored jibe. Burling's jibe, very perfect jibe, lost 0 seconds. Really very impressive. And we can look over at Outteridge's jibe. Let's take a look. Exactly the same thing, lost 0 seconds. Amazing. Heading towards the finish line here, Outteridge has pulled ahead on that favored jibe, so Burling is going to come back over. Now he is on the favored jibe. They are converging together here. Both have great speed. Let's take a look at this in the 3D. As they are converging here, Burling crosses clear ahead, both of them foiling, just screaming along, and they're headed in now. We'll switch back to the top view here. Outteridge has jibed behind Burling and just lost a ton. Look at that jibe. The color-coded GPS track tells me that blue, he dropped down to 10 knots, just really slow. And I'm afraid that's the nail in the coffin at the end of this race for Outteridge. There's just not enough water left for him to be able to catch up. And that's it. Peter Burling has finished, cementing his win as the 2015 Moth World Champion here in beautiful Sorrento, Australia. Here those guys are, presumably chatting after the race. Let's just take a quick look at the overall race stats for here. We have Burling won by 9 seconds, sailing slightly less distance. He had a max speed over the ground of 30 knots, and then Outteridge was just a little bit faster, actually. One of the things I want to show you, too, is look at how far it is to the next boat. We've got Chris Rashley just behind them, but he's got another 415 meters before he finishes the race, and then everybody else, you can see them here graphically. It was really an epic race between two great sailors to finish out this competition. And that's all I have for you guys today. I look forward to seeing you next time here on the Race to Win Sailing Podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, you can find more on our website, www.racecues.com/podcast.